How can you force your vibrations to raise? If you've been trying various things, biohacking, personal growth techniques, and all of this stuff, right, there's a chance that some of it, maybe all of it, has not been working, and you've been wondering, like, what do I do? How do I actually make this stuff happen? Well, what if I told you there's a very simple, and this is an incredibly simple way that I've found, where if you do this for a few minutes a day, your vibrations will rise. They will raise, and it's almost like you're forcing them to rise. This is not like those other spiritual videos you've seen where they tell you random stuff. I'm going to try and be as practical as possible, and I want to explain stuff that you can actually use. I want to just give you a load of cryptic buzzwords that don't really explain how to do this. When I talk about vibrations and frequency, what I really mean is that your energy, the energy or the energetic signature that happens around you is going to rise. What that means is that positive things, positive people, opportunities, and abundance will be attracted to you. So you won't have to chase this stuff. It will kind of come to you. And this is not some random new age stuff. Okay, you've seen this. You must know somebody. You must have heard of somebody, right? Where it's almost like everything they touch turns to gold. Things are just magnetized to them. They find it easy to attract opportunities and people and situations. And it seems like it's almost magic, right? They just seem to get opportunities handed to them. But in reality, what's happening is they're just vibrating at the right level to attract those things. So it's as natural to them as somebody at a lower level not having those opportunities and not attracting those things, or somebody at a lower level attracting misfortune and bad things to happen to them. And in a way, we're all kind of creating our reality like this. The problem is that normally people will only admit that when they realize it and when they know that that's why they're successful. You won't hear somebody who's having like a lot of bad luck say, I'm doing this, because nobody wants to admit that they are the reason for them being unhappy or not being successful. Nobody wants to admit that because it's hard to admit that. But when you get successful, you realize, hold on a minute, I did this. This was me. I always had this power. Okay, so how do you do it? The first step is to realize that any goal can be broken down into a series of tiny, tiny actions, right? Things that everybody could do. And the chances are that you might even know some of these things and you're just not doing them because you think they're too insignificant, think they don't matter, so you're not doing them. For example, what time did you go to bed last night? And when did you wake up today? Research has shown that the best time to go to bed is between 10 and 10:30, and the best time to wake up is between 6 and 7. But did you do it? Another example, did you drink alcohol or smoke in the last 24 hours? Research has clearly shown that that's bad for you, but did you do it? Or did you watch negative media, have negative thoughts? Now, of course, you can't avoid all negative thoughts. I get that. But you can at least cut them down, reduce them, and then when you do have them, try and quickly solve the problem, the reason that you had the thought, and then move on. So, like I said, it comes down to breaking down the task into tiny actions that you can actually do. And I'll go one step further than that, breaking them down into things that you definitely do every day. I'll give you an example. Let's say meditation. We know that it's good for a number of reasons to meditate for about 10 to 20 minutes a day. Okay, but that's quite hard. That's a long time, especially if you're new to it. So start then instead by meditating for 60 seconds a day, and then 2 minutes, and then 3 minutes. And what you'll notice very quickly is that half the battle is just getting started. Once you're actually meditating for 60 seconds, it's very easy to do another 60 seconds, and then before you know it, you've done 5 minutes. Very easy. And so this is an example of how you can force your vibrations to raise. Okay, just commit to doing tiny actions every single day, like meditating for 60 seconds, like writing in your journal, going to bed on time, making your bed in the morning, drinking more water, like the basic stuff. And there's about 30 things like that, what I call the low-hanging fruits, the things that are the easiest to do and they have the biggest difference. They make the biggest difference to you. The vast majority of people trying to raise their vibes are looking for some crazy secret or some crazy technique or method or binaural beats or something like this, when the reality is if you just did those 30 things and you did them every day, you'd be a completely changed man or woman. And it's easy, but people want some grand secret, they want some trick, some one thing they can do, when really it's just doing several things every day for a given period of time. Now, I do teach these in my Superhuman Optimization program. I go through in detail exactly what you need to do to force yourself to raise your vibrations. That's very easy. And if you do it, I guarantee you'll feel the difference. So the Superhuman thing is in the description. Just to give you some idea, if you click on that link, you'll get an hour free training. No catch whatsoever. There's an hour of training showing you how to raise your vibrations and showing you about 10, I think it's about 8 or 10 of those things that you need to do to force your vibrations to raise. So yeah, it really, in my opinion, just comes down to doing those things. and doing them every day. Most of them you already probably know you should be doing. Now there's a few things, obviously, like drinking water, more water, avoiding negative media, sleeping better. These are basic things, you know those things. But in that free training I explain, like I said, 8 to 10 other things that you probably didn't know, but they make a huge difference, like a massive difference. So yeah, please go and check it out. I know you'll like it. So yeah, and let me know in the comments what your best tip for raising vibrations is.